Y'all, welcome to the channel. Hope you're all doing well out there. I'm doing okay myself, I guess. Today is our first episode of Firehouse Friday, and firemen are really dear to my heart, firefighters, and I know I mentioned it before on some of my other videos, but a very special person in my life who is a firefighter, and so I'm just, firefighters to me are just amazing. I mean, these people are running into fires to save, people they don't even know, strangers. They're out in the middle of the interstate trying to help get somebody out of a car, and it's just, it's such a dangerous occupation, and they don't make as much money as you would actually think they would make. And I think it's really a shame that there's occupations, where other people are making 10 times, even more than that, more than 10 times income than what firefighters make. And the average firefighter makes between about $50,000, $55,000. Some of them make a little bit more than that, but just starting out, they make even less than that. So, and you think about it, and all of this, their gear that they have on, it's 110 degrees outside in the shade, and they're running into a fire where it's another 500 degrees hotter, And I just think that it's really amazing what they do, and they put their life on the line all the time, and then there's training, they're not just sitting there in the firehouse waiting for something to happen. They're training, they're constantly training to be even better. They're getting new apparatuses and new equipment, and they have to train on that and learn how to do all of that. Then they have new recruits that are there that they're having to train also. And other occupations have been hit really hard with not enough employees. Well, the fire department, unfortunately, has had the same issues with employees. There's shortages all across the United States of firefighters. And so there's constantly new recruits coming in that they have to train, because you want your new recruits to have your back out there just the same as your seasoned firefighters. So there's a lot that goes into firefighting, and I just want to start having this Firehouse Friday. I'm going to talk about different issues within the fire department. Just give some statistics of what's going on, where wildfires are right now in the United States. And there are always a lot of wildfires out there that, some of them make the headline news, world news, whatever. Some of them don't, and there's some really bad ones out there. And firefighters have to fight them no matter if they're really bad and on the news, or if they're just, really bad and just kept quiet. So there's always something going on within the firefighters, within the fire department, and I just don't think that they get enough recognition and enough praise from us. And like I said, there's other occupations out there, even in the sports profession, that are making well over what firefighters make, and a firefighter's job is very, very dangerous. And not only just going into a burning building and getting hurt or killed or whatever in a burning building, but you have all these other occupational hazards as well. Just this week alone, there's been several firefighters that have been killed in crashes. And the number one occupational hazard, killer, or whatever, of element of firefighters is occupational cancer. They have a 9% chance more than the average person of getting cancer, and a much higher death rate. if they do get the cancers, because the kind of cancers that they get from firefighting, from carcinogens, I have trouble saying that word, but from carcinogens and things like that, the kinds of cancers that they get are more severe than some of the other cancers, so that's why they have a much higher fatality rate. They do get cancer. And just, in recent years they've come up with better filtration on their breathing apparatuses and things like that, so there is some improvement. They also, when they come out of a fire now, they spray each other down with this solution of stuff, and it's supposed to cut down on the carcinogens. But they're going into toxic places all the time, and breathing in all of that stuff. Even with filtration and everything on there, you're still getting some of that into your system. And like I said, they spray down their uniforms because they found that a lot of them were actually getting cancer from just debris and things on their uniforms and on their gear. So they've started like spraying them down, taking off the top layer and putting them in a bag, and someone takes care of it when they get back to the firehouse. So there are some improvements in it, but there's still a lot of firefighters who are getting cancer, and unfortunately not making it back from the cancer. So it's a big deal, and I just wanted to share that awareness, and just like I said, firefighters to me are just amazing. I mean, I can't even imagine, especially like the lady firefighters, they have certain times when I imagine it's really, really hard to be out there and that heat and fighting all those fires and everything. But all of them, I'm just amazed, especially like I said, firefighters in really, really hot locations like Phoenix, Arizona, which is super hot, 120 degrees sometimes, and in Florida and some of the other really, really hot states, and they've got all this turnout gear and everything, and they're going in these fires, or they're standing out on the hot asphalt, at an accident site, and they're using the jaws of life, and they're getting people out of these cars, and it's hot. I mean, you can barely stand it sometimes to be out there in your bathing suit, and just imagine having on all this gear and in that extreme heat like that. So I just I find them very awe-inspiring. And of course, within any other occupation, I'm sure there's probably some corruption. Some of them are, I'm sure have some firefighters that are just, it's just a job for them or whatever. But there are other firefighters out there that it is not just a job for them. It's a lifestyle. And, those are amazing people that dedicate their whole lives to saving people, rescuing people that they don't even know and probably will never even see again, and will never get a thank you for it, or an appreciation of any kind for it. And I just think that they're just, I think they must be sent here from God or something, because they're just amazing. But like I said, occupational cancer hazard for firefighters is 9% more than what it is for the average person. And I just, I did a little research on it, because a while back I did some research on it, because I knew I was going to start doing this channel, and the first thing I wanted to talk about was occupational hazards of firefighters. And like I said, cancer is the #1 hazard for those firefighters, and honestly it really shouldn't be an issue. I mean, they shouldn't have to worry about getting cancer or anything like that. Their biggest thing should be other things like falling off a ladder or the roof collapsing or something like that. That should be what you worry about in the way of occupational hazards, and it shouldn't be that cancer is such a high risk for them. Like I said, there's a higher rate for them, and Some of the most common cancers are digestive, oral, respiratory, and urinary cancers, and like lung cancers and esophageal cancer. I think I said that right. Esophageal in your esophagus is the number one. It's because, you know, the breathing and everything, and before they had the better filters, they were breathing in all these carcinogens and poisons and toxins and things, and that's what, you know, is causing the cancer. Also, malignant oh gosh, here we go. Mesothelioma. There you go. Malignant mesothelioma, which is a rare type of cancer. You get it from asbestos and things like that, but some of these firefighters, you know, are working in the cities where there's still asbestos siding in a lot of the houses, so they're breathing in all of that asbestos, and it caused, you know, cancer. Another thing too was that their insurance, they don't have the greatest insurance in the world, and it didn't even cover a lot of the guy or the, you know, the firefighters, men and women, who developed these cancers, and their insurance companies were just like, well, you know, we don't cover that kind of thing, you know, it's accidental insurance or whatever, and it's, you know, that's not considered an accident. So a lot of their insurances don't cover a lot of their cancer treatment. So that's another big thing as far as, you know, being a firefighter and the hazards. And the lack of pay and everything is also the lack of good cancer insurance. There was twice as many firefighters with malignant mesothelioma than there were of normal citizens, normal people. Like I said, that's caused from the exposure to burning asbestos. The chance of lung cancer diagnosis or death increased with the amount of time spent at fires. And the chance of leukemia's death increased with the number of fire runs also. So it's, you know, shows you right there that if you're in an area where there's like more fires than, say, another area, those firefighters are more likely to develop certain types of cancers. Based on previous studies of firefighters, the cancers of primary concern were lung cancer, brain cancer, stomach cancer, esophageal cancer, intestinal cancer, rectum cancer, kidney cancer, bladder, prostate, and leukemia, melanoma, multiple myeloma, and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So yeah, that's just one of the occupational hazards for firefighters is cancer, occupational cancer, and like I said, that is the number one occupational hazard for a firefighter. You wouldn't think about that. You would think that, you know, accidents in a fire scene or, you know, something like that, but that is the number one cause. And believe it or not, the number two cause of firefighter injuries and deaths are crashes. Just this year so far, there have been 70 firefighter deaths due to crashes. And this is caused by people who ignore, you know, the sirens with the flashing lights, and they don't get over, or they run a red light, you know, they don't even think about it. They're like, oh, there's a fire truck coming, who cares? And they just run on through the light, and you know, it is understandable that there are times when you cannot get out of the way of of them, but I have seen so many times just driving around, I've seen people who just deliberately don't pull over. They just seem to be ignoring, the sirens and the lights. And, this is what causes crashes. Those fire trucks and the ambulances too, they flip over very easy because they're high profile vehicles. So if they swerve too quickly or they're hitting the side or something, they can flip over very easily. And that's, how a lot of the other firefighters are injured and killed. And it's so easily preventable, just if everybody would just pay more attention, or if they would just, heed to the warnings and just pull over, or just slow down, or just wave them around you, just so that they know that you see them. Can you imagine flying down the road and you're just zooming through traffic trying to get somewhere to save somebody's life, and then someone is just not even worrying about where you're going or what you got going on or what you have to do, and they just ignore moving over. They won't move over for you, and then someone will swerve out in front of the fire trucks, and they can't stop on a dime. Those trucks are very, very heavy, and they cannot stop on a dime. And so many times I've seen people that have almost caused accidents, and it's really a shame that they do that kind of thing. If you're out there and you see lights in your rearview mirror, you see lights, ahead of you or anywhere else, or you hear sirens, slow down, put your window down, see if you can hear where it's coming from, and be prepared, to get out of the way. And just be more aware and just be careful out there. Those guys and girls, women and men, they have a job to do, and they have lives to save, and they have fires to put out in a home, so the homes next to it doesn't catch on fire too. They're super important, and we just need to respect them a little more, and respect their space, and respect that they need to get around us and get to where they're going, and we just need to be a little bit more careful about that. But like I said, just this year alone, there's been 70 firefighters killed in the United States just this year from crashes. Just this week, there were just 2 days ago, there was a crash in Nashville and Memphis. There was one in Memphis just a couple of days ago. There was one somewhere else 4 days ago. There was another one in Memphis 7 days ago. There's just, it shouldn't be happening. We need to be more careful and be more aware, and try your best to get out of the way, or at least motion them around, let them know that you do see them, and that you're not gonna pull out in front of them or run over them, run into the side of them or something. So that's number 2. Some of the other, and number 3 is suicide. Within the fire department, they have complex PTSD a lot, and other mental health issues too. If you put yourself in their shoes for just for a little while, and you think about all that they see, all that they go through, all that they do, and there's really not been a whole lot of help out there for them. There's beginning to be more help out there. A lot of the fire departments have started, support groups and things like that for their firefighters. But yeah, suicide is number 3 as far as deaths of firefighters. And I think that's really sad, because they spend their career saving people and helping people, and then nobody saves them in the worst way possible. So just more awareness, I think, needs to be brought to that issue as well. So some of the other accidents and things that happen which, causes injury and fatalities, is just overexertion, stress, medical, issues like that, like what I was saying with the cancer, the occupational cancer, the suicide rate, and just overexerted in the heat. Heat stroke is a common thing that happens to firefighters too. Even like in Arizona, out on the hiking trails, they have to go out a lot of times and rescue people from the hiking trails, just because people choose to go hiking in the heat of the day, and they get up there and they get overexerted, and a lot of them don't take water, and they end up having to be rescued off of a mountain in 116, 17 degree weather. And the firefighters often end up going to the hospitals with the patients because of overexertion and heat exhaustion. So that's a big thing too. When you're in an area, think about what you can do to prevent them from having to come and rescue you. I see people all the time climbing on rocks that they're not supposed to be climbing on, or going close to wildlife that they're not supposed to be doing, and just all sorts of things that could very easily cause you to get injured, and then firefighters are going to have to come out and injure you, and there's a big chance that they could get injured also, or get heat exhaustion on those trails. So just think about that when you're doing outside activities or whatever. Just think about what you could do to prevent them from having to put their lives on the line in order to help you. Also, another cause of death is rapid fire progression or explosions. Of course, I covered crashes. Getting struck by a vehicle out on the interstate. They're out there, they're trying to get someone out of a crashed vehicle, and people are just, zooming on through there. They don't pay any attention, and they just run right over the firefighter, first responder. Falls, that's a occupational hazard that really can't be avoided as well as some of the others, but falling and structural collapse, exposure to electricity, if you know of like fuse boxes or electrical things or whatever in your home, and your home happens to unfortunately catch on fire or something like that, when they get there to help you out, let them know, hey, there's a electrical currents here and there, and kind of help them out that way, so that they know to be aware of that kind of stuff. Exposure to heat, like I said. There's actually been some assaulted. I read a story a while back where the firefighters were going into, I think it was in Chicago, I'm not sure, but they were going to a house fire, and this house fire actually ended up being like a gang house, and the other rival gang members didn't want the fire department to get there and put the fire out, so they came running out, and they climbed all over the fire truck, and they were threatening the firefighters, with guns and everything else, because they didn't want them to get there to put out the rival gang's house that was on fire. So there's things like that too. They get stuck in crossfires sometimes. I know that they used to have to wait for an area to be cleared before they could go in. They had to wait for the police to get there and clear an area before they could go in and do anything. But I think now, with the shortage of police officers and the shortage of everything else, a lot of times they don't even have time to wait for the police to get there and clear an area. They have to go in there and try to save people. So that's another danger. I know my firefighter, he years ago, he went to a domestic disturbance and nearly got stabbed by a guy because he was just in the way there, and just kind of got in the middle of something, and that was bad too. So they have that to worry about also. Getting burned and things like that, asphyxia with smoke inhalation. They have had strokes out there, heart attacks, So gunshots, electrocution, heat stroke, just all sorts of things, that could happen to them, and they still choose to get out there and do that job for us, for the people. For people they don't even know, that, like I said, they may never ever see again, and may never get, appreciation from, that they do it anyway. And I think that's just admirable. I think that's amazing. So that's what this Firehouse Friday is going to be about. So, like I said, this is my first one, and this is just about firehouse fatalities and injuries and things that can occur, that occur quite often. And this week I'm not going to go too much in depth with what's going on with as far as wildfires and things like that, but in the future I will be doing like a weekly report of what's been going on during the week, and where the fires are, and how much they're contained, and that kind of stuff. So I'll be doing that, but this week I didn't get that far in my research. It's going to be research. It's going to be facts of what's going on at the time. So I'll start doing that on my next Firehouse Friday. Can I just mention a restaurant we have here? I don't know if you guys have them where you are, but Firehouse Subs. Firehouse Subs is an amazing place to eat. They have really good sub sandwiches. Part of the proceeds from every sale that they make goes back into fire departments, or the community fire departments, or whatever. Very, very cool place. I'm going to put some pictures here at the end of Firehouse Subs that I just recently visited. And like I said, the proceeds go to firehouses around the area. Very good food, very good prices, and yeah, I highly recommend Firehouse Subs. So if you ever want to eat somewhere that has, a cause, try out Firehouse Subs. They're really, really good. And yeah, they got some cool memorabilia and stuff inside those Firehouse restaurants too. Like I said, I'll put some pictures of the one I just visited last week. And you get a free birthday sub too if you get their app. So they always have special deals and things with their app. So that is pretty much it for this week. I just wanted to go over, occupational hazards of firefighters, because I think that's super important, and just more awareness needs to be brought to those things, and people just need to be more careful out there when they see a firefighter or any kind of first responder. Just remember that they are on their way to save someone's life, possibly someone's property, someone's prized possessions, someone's pets. They're on their way to save something, and just think about if they were on their way to save someone in your family, or you even, you would want people to get out of their way, and you would respect them for going out there and putting their lives on the line to save someone dear to you, or your pet, or your home, or your whatever. You just have to remember that these people are going to save something, and we just need to remember to be more cautious and to be more aware of our surroundings, and just move out of the way. Get out of the way. Yeah, and just if you encounter them somewhere, the military, if I see someone that's from the military or been in the military, I always tell them thank you for your service. I do the same thing for first responders. Whether it's policemen or firefighters, or whoever it is, if they're a first responder and they're putting their lives on the line out there, I always tell them thank you for your service. because it is a service. It definitely is a service. You know, when your home is on fire or whatever, they're doing a service for you by putting your fire out, trying to save as much of your belongings as they possibly can, and save your pets and you know, homes next door. Those fires can easily jump from one house to the next, you know, and they're there to prevent that from happening. So just, you know, show them a little more respect, a little more support, a little more, you know, understanding and everything. And just, you know, just be aware. They have, you know, here in some of the communities here close by, they'll have Firefighter Appreciation Day or something like that, and they sell t-shirts and they sell barbecue meals and things like that, and I go to as many of those as I can and support, and just, you know, it's a good cause. If you have, you know, money left over at the end of the year and you want to get a tax write-off and you need something to donate some money to, donate it to your local fire department. Because, you know, they some of the fire departments, they have medical funds set up for their firefighters in case, you know, something does happen. They can help out their families and things like that. So yeah, just respect the firefighters. They're just, you know, all inspiring, like I said. You just think about what they go through for total strangers. And so yeah. So I guess that's it for this episode of Firehouse Friday. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some information out about it. I hope you are more aware of things, and I hope that you'll respect firefighters more. And some of you probably already do respect them a lot, but for those of you that really don't even think about it until you need one, just think about it. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching, and God bless all of you, and I hope you all get out there and find a beautiful view somewhere. So thanks for watching, guys. Tomorrow is Saturday. I won't have a video up. Sunday I won't have a video up. So Monday we'll have our Music Monday again. So I guess that's it. Like I said, leave a comment. If you liked it, like it. If you want to subscribe and catch other stuff, my channel is kind of varied. I talk about a lot of different things on my channel. It's just little pieces of me in each episode, I guess you'd say. So yeah, if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have a special firefighter in your life. If you know of someone who needs prayers or anything like that, just leave me a comment. And I guess that's it for now. Thank you guys so very, very much for watching. I will see you on the next video. Thank you.